Hey, I'm Kelley Dixon. I was nominated for an Emmy Award for editing Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi. So what I enjoyed the most about editing Obi-Wan, I was approached by the director and I was really surprised when I got called on Star Wars, because I was like, why is Lucasfilm calling me, right? This is not anything that I thought that I would, be on anybody's list for. And the director, Deborah Chow, approached me and she said, we really want somebody who's really great with drama, and you're really great with drama. And I was really flattered, but I was like, well, how much drama, is there? Star Wars is like, swashbuckling and lightsabers and spaceships and action. Then I read the scripts and I was so excited because the scripts were just amazing. There was so much drama in it. I loved that Obi-Wan was doubtful and he was, kind of sort of terrified and inside. He was dealing with all these emotions, and I love that stuff. So I was really excited to actually get my, hands on it and start working on it. I chose this episode to submit for Emmys, mostly because it was the finale, and but also it was because this epic, gigantic battle with Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. We got to, see Obi-Wan regain, his self-esteem. We got to see him regain his self-worth. We got to see him harness his command of, the Force. I found out about my nomination. I was actually on an airplane flying back to Los Angeles from Tokyo. The internet on the plane went out totally. It went out over the Pacific. So I was constantly refreshing. And finally, the internet came back on, and then all the sites with all the Emmy lists were like, you couldn't even get into them. So I'm on this plane and everybody is sleeping and I'm up trying to refresh. And, finally I get into the Academy site and I'm looking, and then it was like the pictures on the thing come up, but only one picture came up and ours didn't. And I was like, and it didn't even say what they were. There was no caption. They just didn't come up. And I was like, and so I'm like clicking on each little box to see if something will open. And finally ours opened. I'm like, that's us. Wow, that's Josh and I. There's so many things about Media Composer that I love, specifically the trim tool. I'm very tied to it. I also love extend. That's probably one of my favorite keys is, my favorite commands is extend. But it's like Josh and I were working together, and one of the best things that, Media Composer offers is that it lets you work with multiple, systems. It's like there's no way that you can kind of work on your own. With something like this, Josh and I were working together on this episode, but there was another editor who was also working on the series. His name is Nick Dutoff. And, all of us were collaborating constantly, and there's no way we could not have shared. We also had assistant editors. We had a couple of visual effects editors. We had a music editor. Everybody had to be very connected and able to do work immediately. I love being able to work very fast, and I love being able to not be stunted by the machine waiting, or something, It's like I can just do the things I need to do and, not have to worry. Avid Media Composer has helped me in my career, I think because, I was learning it as it grew. I was growing. I learned it, way back. I was an assistant editor when we were still cranking film. I started out on another system and had to migrate over to Media Composer. And, the one thing that I loved about it was always very intuitive. I went into my first Avid Media Composer job as an assistant editor, not knowing it, and kind of saying, you know what, I'm gonna fake it till I make it, right? It's gonna be okay. I know how to edit, I know how to assist, I just don't know the buttons to push. And it was scary, but you know, I learned it very, very quickly. I had to do a lot of like sound work and stuff, and when I didn't know, I could always call people, you know, to help, which was incredibly valuable. And so, like I said, as I grew, it grew. I mean, look, I couldn't have done this without Media Composer. There's no way.